Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is the Crucible of NYC. I'm your host, Domingo. Today I would like to review with you folks an unboxing actually and some reviews of these items that I purchased from Amazon, but it's not about the Mr. Coffee and it's not about the Blue Eddy because you guys had seen the review if you have, and if you haven't you can go back to the channel and you can watch the review of the Blue Eddy, but not Mr. Coffee. So, but other than that, this is a review of a Java Press a coffee grinder that I purchased from Amazon. It's called the Manual Burr Coffee Grinder from Java Press Coffee Company. And I wanted to try to see how it is and how it works and how's the tasting. Next to it, it's just a Pete's Coffee. None of this is sponsored, none of this has been affiliated. This is just my own reviews and my own thoughts, and just wanted to share with you folks with these things. And this is a whole bean coffee, it's not ground, but the one beside it, El Coqui, is a grounded coffee. So I wanted to try both types of coffee, just brewing it and see how the taste comes with it. And on the bottom, you'll see that there is an LHS coffee filter that you put on top of the mugs. And I also have the Bollier Gooseneck from Bodum. It's just a water heater. It's to heat up tea, heat up coffee. And I'll just do a simple unboxing. And on the side, that is the coffee filters. Now, for you folks that know and don't know about coffee filters, I'll go through it with you as I'm going through it, but coffee filters are not treated equally, unfortunately. Coffee filters, they are bleached and unbleached. You have the white coffee filters, and then you have the brown coffee filters. The brown coffee filters are unbleached, so not that much chemicals to process these filters. This is just papers. But this is just a food for thought for those who know and those who don't. So bear with me now that since I have one hand, I can't unbox this thing. I can try, but we could try to unbox this Bodum. So this is electrical. It's not a manual water heater that you put in the stove and you have to use water to heat it up, but this is going to be hard. So I think I'm going to have to put this down so that this way I can go back. Oh, actually, look, I can actually do it. So with its contents, we'll see that it comes with the manual. Obviously, I think the majority of things that do come now, they come with manuals, but sometimes people just don't read them, but they should if you need to know the operations on what this has. It tells you about the kettle, it tells you about the water, safety concerns, and I'm sure this is going to tell you also about the output of how much output you're going to need, as this is electrical. Some people use like battery operated systems, just like the Blue Eddy right there, or my DIY project right there as well. So going back to the manual, it tells you about the product features, and there it is. It's 1,000 watts. So I'm sure that the Blue Eddy AC200 Max and my DIY project can handle this without a problem, without breaking a sweat. So this is 1,000 watts at 120 volts and 220 as well for all the people from Europe and everyone else who's not in the United States. Here you have let's see what's in here. Well, there you go. So then now you have coffee cap, or the tea cap. And yeah, this is pretty tough to do this with one hand. So it's just regular boxing, and there it is. There's the kettle. And there you go. I'll put that back in the box, and here's the cord with the base. There it is. And nothing else in the box. It's just an empty box after that. So we can discard this, and now we can go back and see the kettle. So there's nothing special about the kettle. It tells you the maximum level of how much water you can put in there. And this is the cap, this vented cap. Yeah, that's the vented cap, and then this is just the base. And on the bottom of the kettle, you have the specifications, the model number, and the plug. And it's here, there you go. Gives you the listing of 1,000 watts. It gives you the listings of that this was certified, and a very simple base, nothing special. But the special part will come when we have a manual grinder. This is the one that I actually wanted to really present, and this is the star of the show. Comes with the handle, and here you go. And here's your coffee grinder. Nothing special, another basic coffee grinder, but I've seen a lot of reviews from people that this has been a life-changing experience for them. So I said, you know what the heck? Why don't we review this and see how this is? So you have, this comes, once you disassemble this, it becomes into 3 pieces. It just comes into 3 pieces. You have the bottom part, which holds the coffee, and it has like just a gauge to see how much coffee you put in there. This is not open, it's actually closed. It's like a plastic. And then you have your plastic inside. Seems the normal. And then you have your grinder here. So this is where you put your coffee beans inside. And on the bottom is where it comes out, as you see those little holes. And I did see on Amazon, and some people have complained because they didn't understand it and they felt left out, because they said that on the manual there wasn't any representations of the clicks, because every time you turn this, it has like a click. So that's to tell you how coarse or how thin or how thick the coffee you want it, and as you turn it, it clicks. So I think that it was like 12 or 13 clicks that you have to do to turn it, and then that's how you'll find out what's the I guess the viscosity, maybe you can say, but just the weight of the coffee, how much. But normally when it's coming into a cup like this one, it's gonna be that it should be finer because you use the filter. It's this one right here, and this filter will pour the coffee inside, and then we'll pour the water over the coffee filter so that this way it can filter into the cup. And I'll do this little by little because, of course, like I said, one-handed. Sorry, guys. It's not easy doing everything with one hand, like I said before. That's what she said. But this thing is just a matter of just taking this apart, and I think I'm gonna maybe, yeah, there you go. So we'll pull this apart, and this is the filter. The contents are just these 3 pieces. You have like a wire brush. It's just to clean the filter thoroughly. There's nothing else inside, so we'll put this to the side. And then we have the filter. We'll put this on the side. The coffee grinder, sorry. And then you have the cup here that you see right there, that this is, there you go, that's the bottom part that goes onto the cup. So we'll bring the cup down, and I'll show you how this works. Like I said, cope with me, folks, because this is just one-handed stuff here. So then we have this part. This base goes onto the cup, and it goes like that. Then you have this nodule. This part right here goes right in here, and then you just press it down, and that's how it is. And for some people that don't want to use the filter itself and just use like a paper filter, just for like double filtering, you use this, and also to keep it clean, and just pour the coffee over it, and then you just use the kettle, pour the water over, and that's pretty much it. It's a very simple task, but I know that the grinding part, everything else, dealing with everything, assembling this, is going to take a process. So it's very simple. That this is the base, this is the bottom of the grinder. Then you place this component here, that's where the coffee will come down. Then this is the lid, and then once you put the lid on, then you have your handle, and then your handle just goes right there, and there you have it. And it's just, you just turn it, just grind it, but I can't do it because I have one-handed operation over here. So despite of having all this paperwork and all this boxes and plastic stuff, that's very much it. So the unboxing of this, but we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna place the camera down, and I'm gonna try to attempt to angle the camera so that this way I can grind the coffee, heat up the water in the kettle using the Blue Eddy AC 200 Max, or also using my DIY project that I created back there. So stay tuned and I'll be right back, folks. All right, folks. So after washing the Java press, I suggest that just use light soap, any kind of brush, or anything that you can use just to clean the insides of this. So I did see reviews that a lot of people were saying that when you do wash this, you got to let this thoroughly dry because this is the grinding part. And if you don't let this air dry thoroughly, when you're grinding it, it gets stuck into the, because it's turning into like powder or smaller particles. Another thing is that when I was reading online, this thing that twists is how, again, like I was saying before, this is how coarse or how thin you want the coffee beans to come out. So the best way to do it, to adjust it, it's you place this one down, you use the handle to just hold it in place because it's kind of hard to turn that with your hand, because then as you're loosening it, the screw starts to spin. So there are 20 clicks from the end, and it said that for a pour over that it's between 5 and 12, and if I'm wrong, I'll put the correct chart with the clicks and everything. So from 20 we go to 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, and 12. So there's 12 clicks. So with this 12 clicks, it should come out semi-coarse and not so dusty, so not so powdery. So I did 12 clicks according to what the chart said. So after we go ahead and do that, so now we'll go ahead and get the beans. So there are two methods, or several methods that people use. They'll either just angle the bag gently and like just pour this over this way. Some people say that you get beans scattered all over the place. Some people pour it into their hands and just funnel it through. I've also suggested, I don't know if this will do, but this is just a regular cup holder for a coffee mug holder, and I figured that you could pour it that way. But no matter how you see it, you're still gonna make a mess of beans. Beans are gonna fly all over the place, I guess. So let's try to do this together and see if maybe we won't get a mess of beans all over the place. Knowing me, I'll probably drop all of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pour some beans in there. And you see, it wasn't that bad. So it's like 3/4 full of how it is. So I figured I'd take that much, and just for sample purposes, I'll grind a little bit. I'm not gonna grind the whole thing because I know that, to go through that whole process of the torture of seeing me grind this would kind of suck. I'll just grind a little bit and then I'll just grind the rest once it's done. So once you put the handle in there and you put the bottom piece in, you just go across and that's it. So I'll get back to you guys and I'll see how the grinding comes along, and I'll give you an update once this is completed. Wow. So so after grinding this coffee, it's gonna take you like about, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna take you like anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. I was just doing it at a gentle pace. I wasn't doing it very fast or whatever. And after grinding it through, I filled it up, and then after that, I filled it up a little more. So I don't know if you could see it in there that it's, let's see. There's still some more beans left, but not many. Not much you could see there. I think you guys can see that. So just after grinding it a little bit, it took some hard work grinding because, nothing good comes easy. That's what they say. So after grinding, it's almost full to the top. And like I said, like about a good 5 minutes, you can get an almost full, and I still have some more beans inside here. So what we'll do is we're going to set this to the side, and I had already filled this up with water, the kettle, so up to the max, and there's a little line right there that it says maximum level. I think you guys can see that there. It says maximum level. So just remember that when you're filling this up, not to pass the limit that it tells you to. So we're gonna align the little vent in the front, make sure that this is properly closed. And so now here's two different things that I wanted to explain again, what I was saying in the beginning about the coffee filters. So the coffee filters, the brown ones, you have these packages that, I'll get up a little closer. So what they'll say is super premium coffee filters, right? And then you'll see that it says natural brown unbleached paper. So this is the type of coffee filters that you want to use if you're using the coffee, tea, or anything that you want to filter out. Try to buy these. Try not to buy these because these are bleached. So of course they're not going to tell you they're bleached. It's just going to tell you that, hey, they're coffee filters and they're cheap. And they're usually very cheap because they add these chemicals. Not to mention they have these lot numbers and all this stuff. Now, of course, you know, sometimes when we find a deal, or sometimes out of habits, we'll just find something and we'll just not do our research and we'll just buy what we grab. But whenever you go to the supermarket, convenience store, or anywhere, try to always remember to buy the brown paper, not the white one. So I was thinking about maybe just omitting the filter itself and just pouring in so that we could just see how the whole filtration works on this coffee. So let's see. It's just, I would say I'm not gonna pour the whole thing. I'm gonna go like maybe halfway. So remember that this is gonna be a stronger coffee, so your portions have to vary. So you can either pour it that way, or you could have just done what I had here, was just a spoon. So yeah, that's a lot of coffee, man. I'm gonna be jumping out, jumping off the bed, jumping into a roof. So what I did was I just scooped out one scoop, and so this is just another scoop here. So wow, I actually put like 2 teaspoons full of coffee. Yeah, I just didn't want to put that much coffee because it's late in the evening. The last thing you want to do is just put too much coffee and you're going to be jumping off the damn bed and can't even sleep. So I have roughly about a teaspoon and a quarter of coffee. That's as much as I'm going to go. I'm not going to overdo it. So we have a teaspoon and a half of coffee, and what we'll do is we're going to start boiling our water on the tea kettle. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Blue Eddy AC 200 Max, and we're going to turn on the outlets, turn on the input, and now the outlets are on. So the coffee maker is blinking, and I heard this doesn't blink or do anything, so it's just a regular plate. But that beeping came from Mr. Coffee. Just the name sounds so funny, Mr. Coffee. But yeah, so after taking this, so we're gonna go ahead and place the tea kettle on top, and there should be a light on the bottom that it should come on. And let's see if it comes on. All right. It doesn't look like it's coming on, so let's see. So we'll look at the outlets are on, and this is to turn it on. So you have to press this to turn it on, and then if we go back to the Blue Eddy AC 200 Max, you'll see that it went up to 974 watts. Oh, there goes, it peaked. I thought I saw 1,000 watts, but yeah. So we'll wait for that to go ahead and brew itself. Well, heat up, not brew, but heat up. And then what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll see once it starts steaming up. I'll go ahead and I'll start recording again so that you guys can see the whole process of it steaming up. But I don't hear the water boiling yet, but 974 watts, so it uses like a coil to heat up the water. So it should come up like within 2-3 minutes. So we'll come back when that finishes boiling. So wow, that was really fast. It took like 2 minutes, and then the water started boiling. So I can hear the machine boiling and everything. So I may get slack for this, but this is how I drink my coffee. I usually use some ground cinnamon and a little bit of vanilla extract. And listen, people, don't knock it until you try it. Just a little sprinkle of some cinnamon powder, and just maybe like a drop or two, a couple of drops of vanilla extract. Sometimes it just comes out a lot, so too much. But so after you take the vanilla extract, just move the coffee around a little bit and the cinnamon. And we're just gonna wait to see now what's the progress of this, how long it's gonna take. So it says that once it's reached its optimal temperature, and I think it's at 175 degrees Fahrenheit, it automatically shuts off. So then that'll be ready for us to pour it over, and then I'll come back again once everything starts. Once it's complete, I'll pour it over again. Okay guys, so I just undid the lid because I wanted to see the inside of it boiling. And as you can see, it's just a coil that heats up, and that element on the bottom is where it's heating up the water. So far, we're just waiting, and once that's done, then we can go ahead and pour the water into the coffee filter and see what it does. But so far, with the Blue Eddy AC200 Max, we're looking at about 94%, and I just heard it click. Yeah, it's done. So that it reached its optimal temperature because I heard it click. So like I was saying, it's just the Blue Eddy used 94%. I'm sorry, it's at 94%. It used about 6% to heat up that water. And so we're gonna go ahead and just start pouring the water and see how that works out. Because so far it looks like it's not gonna pour over like into the sides and spill. Let's hope not. We don't want to mess, but let's go ahead and put this aside. So once this is done, so I would suggest using 2 hands, thanks to this little the harness to hold my cell phone, but yeah, hold my camera. So we're gonna go ahead and pour this over. Oh my God, the aroma. So it was set to pour, that I was reading on it, it said to pour and let it just come down slowly, and then pour it over again. So we're gonna wait for that one to finish and come down, then we're gonna continue to pour over more of the water. But I mean, like the aroma that's coming up is amazing. It smells amazing. Man. See, the whole thing is that this is just an experience part that I think that for a person to do this every day, it's kind of time consuming because now you got to prep this, you got to connect it to your outlet, heat up the water. It's almost the same thing as what you would do with a Mr. Coffee, but it's just that it takes more maintenance because now you got to continue to pour over, wait till the coffee does what it has to do, then pour over again. So it's more of an experience, and it looks like it's something that someone wants to do when you're on your day off. I don't think you want to do this in the morning because doing this in the morning, it's going to take a process. And unless you dedicate time to this, I would suggest, maybe finding another alternative way of making the coffee, maybe an hour early or something, so that this way you can enjoy the brew. But I mean, just the aroma that's coming out of that is amazing. So there you go. Pouring it back, and now it seems like I think that it's like almost at halfway. So we'll take a look. We'll lift this up. Yeah, so I was right. So it's like at halfway. So I use like about 1.5 teaspoons. Some people like very, very strong coffee to wake up. I like my coffee mild. I don't like it too strong because sometimes that caffeine, that jolt of caffeine just makes my heart jump out of my skin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and place this to the side. And let's see, I mean, wow. I mean, the aroma that's coming out of this coffee is amazing. And since there's no coffee grinds that I hate, like when I have coffee that I see the grits come out, and it's crazy. So, ooh, hot. Oh man, wow. Wow, so when you taste this coffee, it's actually full. Like the flavor is very full. You could feel and you could taste like the chocolate, I guess, like whatever it is that they use to cook this coffee with. It's like you can taste it. So it's French toast, chocolate truffle, smoked caramel. So I knew I tasted something sweet out of the coffee. So, but yeah, the coffee is really, really rich. I mean, the flavor is spot on. It's not too, how can I tell you? It's not too watery. I mean, for some people that actually want a stronger coffee, yeah, maybe another scoop will definitely do for you. But for me, this is more than enough because remember, when you're doing anything in a Mr. Coffee actually, you're putting in like 4 to 6 spoonfuls of coffee because you look at the size of the stuff that you're doing. You're making a big carafe of coffee. But now if you're doing a cup of coffee, I think that with a teaspoon, or maybe even 2 teaspoons, I think it should be enough for you to enjoy your coffee. Because like I said, I don't like to taste tar, I like to taste coffee. And some people, they actually go ahead and they like that, so it's crazy. So I don't know, I like I said, this process will take you time to go ahead and actually, you know, just go through this whole process of making this coffee. But hey guys, look at this. The Crucible enjoying a cup of coffee right here, just for you guys to see. Wow. Like I said, if you want to enjoy a nice cup of coffee, definitely go ahead and do it this way, because I think that you'll enjoy it. If it's anything more than that, it's going to be a lot stronger. And you're going to, like I said, I don't like too strong coffee. I like to enjoy my coffee. So if for those people that like sugar, milk, or anything like that, froth it up, go right ahead. But I mean, I'm just telling you from experience that I just tasted this right now, and super, super calming. It's like, it's a nice flavor, but because the water's so hot, I would suggest just to let it cool down for a little bit, and then you can enjoy the coffee more, because you don't want to burn your tongue or burn your palates. But back to the coffee stuff right here. So yeah, so I think that for a fact, if you want to enjoy a flavorful coffee and just the experience of enjoying it, why not? Go ahead and indulge yourself. I mean, I think this is something, like I said, this will take time, but I guess like with experience, as you're doing it more and more each day, you'll get better at it, become, just do it faster. So yeah, why not? I brought up the Mr. Coffee because I was gonna brew the coffee beans that I grounded into the Mr. Coffee, but I said, you know what, it's just going to be the same thing. I just actually wanted to go ahead and enjoy this way, so that this way you can enjoy the process of this. But also, for those who are into having power at home, the Blue Eddy AC 200 Max is at 94%. I use 6% just to burn through this hot water. I can assure you that if you do have a source of power at home, like a backup power, I would say go ahead and buy something similar to this, something that is actually prefabricated, as opposed to buying something and putting them into components as I did with the DIY. But it is cheaper if you did it DIY, because the DIY way, you have the lithium iron phosphate Power Queen battery, and then you have the red Odo 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter. And then you go up, you have your fuses, you have your disconnects, and your charge controller, your battery monitor, and some floodlights. So I think that the reason why I wanted to do this video with this coffee maker was because, just in case if the lights do go out, you have a way to make coffee. Yeah, sure, I could have done it with the Mr. Coffee, but here's the thing. The Mr. Coffee to brew, it actually uses about, I think, 1500 watts, which is a lot. And then it starts to idle down to 1000 watts. So being that this is just a hot plate, it stays idle at about 974 watts. So it's just, if you needed to also heat up water, you can use this method, use a battery pack, and you can enjoy your nice cup of coffee. And again, like I said, nothing here was sponsored. I just purchased everything here with my own money. I just wanted to just enjoy this review with you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them on the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Take care and have a wonderful evening, folks.